All right, our next Photoshop assignment is about adjustment layers, and the handout that is posted for this assignment on Google Classroom reminds you that I'm going to ask for 3 examples of this. You do this on 3, you can do this on any school appropriate photo you want. I didn't provide any photos. You can do it on any photo that you would like, okay, any school appropriate photo that you want. And there's some information on the handout here, but I'm going to just show you that's not what I want. I'm just going to show you in Photoshop what to do. So once you have your photos picked out, whether there's something you already have saved or you go on the internet and you get a photo, you're just going to open it. All right, you're just going to open the photo. You're not going to make a new file for this. You're going to open the photo. I hope you're hearing that. You're going to open the photo. And I'm going to start with this soccer picture right here. All right, now adjustment layers are ways to adjust what the picture looks like, what the image looks like. You make an adjustment on the way that it looks. And sometimes the adjustments are like really crazy, and sometimes they are not so crazy. So here's how it works. On the layer panel, there is a button that it's a circular button. It's on the bottom of the layer panel. Here, I'm going to tear off my layer panel, and it's not going to help a lot, but I'm going to tear off my layer panel and move it there. And then the adjustment layer button is the round button that looks like it's half filled in and half not. And so I'm showing you where that button is. You click that, and then you can do any of these that you want. You can play around. You're not going to hurt anything. You can always Control-Z undo, but you play around with any of these that you like. Okay, now in this case, I'm going to do what's called a curves layer. And when you do an adjustment layer, you'll want to look over here on the right-hand side. There should be a panel over here called Properties. And that's where you can kind of play around with what it looks like. Now, in this case, if I grab like the end of this slanting line, there's a slanting line on this curves thing, and if I grab it and just kind of move it around, look at what I'm doing to the picture. See that? And that's getting a little much here, but if I grab that line, I move it over this way, it's lightening that picture up. Oh my goodness, it is adjusting what the picture looks like, right? Or if I bring it down this way, it's making it much darker. Photographers use these kinds of things all the time. They might just say, well, you know what, I just kind of want to darken the background a little bit and make that pop a little, and so they'll just make a slight adjustment, and that's all you have to do. All you have to do is make even just a slight adjustment works for today's assignment. Now, I do want to show you that if you wish, you can get like really crazy, and if I play around with that, see, I turned that slanted line into like a big St. Louis arch, and now look at the picture. That doesn't even look real. It looks absolutely nuts, right? But sometimes that's what people are going for. Sometimes they want something that's really dramatic, really different, and so you can do this. So I'm going to go File, Save As, and this will be. I'm just going to save it like in my Documents folder, and this will be I'm going to call it ADJ1, right? It's an adjustment layer, so ADJ is an abbreviation for adjustment. And that will be ADJ1. What just happened to my file name there? ADJ1. Okay, got it. Save that. Boom. All right, and I'm going to just click OK on that. Now I'm going to open another photo. Remember, you got to do this on 3 different photos. So, sorry, I got a little bit of clicking to get to my folder here and get my photo that I want. It's in a folder. All right, and I'm going to get Captain America. All right, so I got this picture of Captain America off of the internet. And this time I'm going to go to that little round button. Remember, that's how these all start. You go to that little round button on the layer panel, and I'm going to do a hue and saturation adjustment. Try out anything you want. It's up to you. I'm going to do hue and saturation. Over here on the properties panel, over here on the right-hand side, here's what I'm going to do to it. I'm going to take the saturation slider. You got these like hue and saturation lightness sliders, and I'm going to take the saturation slider all the way to the left and look at the image. All the color's gone, right? It's black and white. But I want to point out that if you look right here, when you add an adjustment layer, it automatically comes with a layer mask. This is a layer mask. We've done a lesson on layer mask before, but I don't know if you remember it. Maybe some of you weren't here. Well, one thing we learned about a layer mask is I'm going to tap B for brush, and I'm going to make sure I have black as my color. That's way too big. Brush is way too big. And when I paint with a black brush, look what's happening. Any place where I paint it's bringing the color back. Look at that. Look. So what I did, the adjustment was to make the picture look black and white, and I am masking or hiding the adjustment, right? That's what's going on here. So another thing that you could do if you want is that you could you could selectively hide the adjustment, right? You don't have to. All you got to do is make an adjustment. But if you wanted to use the layer mask you see what I did? Some of the picture is adjusted, some of the picture is black and white, it has the adjustment, but the rest of it is not adjusted. Cool. So this could be my second one. And now I'm just going to hop back to the home thing here. I want to show you one more thing on this. I'm going to hack mode. There it goes. And I'm going to open this picture, right? Remember, all you do is you just open a picture. To get started, you just open a picture. You don't have to make a new file. You just open a picture. Now on this one, I'm going to start by going to the adjustment layer button, and I'm going to do threshold. If you look over here on the properties panel on threshold, I can slide this one slider, and it's having the effect that you see right there. I can blow it all out to be like almost all white, or I could take it over here to the right, make it almost all black, or I could dial it in to any spot in between that I feel like I like. It looks kind of gritty and, edgy and all that kind of thing. All right, so I'll find a level of threshold that I like here. Bingo, like that. Now here's the idea I want to show you. You don't have to stop with one adjustment. I did a threshold adjustment, but I could also come along here and add like another adjustment. So I'll do a gradient map. And right now it's doing black and white, a black and white gradient here. But I'm going to drop this down, and maybe I'll pick something out of the purples. And it looks like that. So that's, the only thing I'm trying to get across here is that that's a combination of two adjustments. I did a threshold adjustment and I did a gradient map adjustment. You could combine any that you want. I think what I might do though is play around with the blend modes on that gradient map. I think that one's kind of cool. I'm going to go with that one right there. That darker color blend mode, boom. And so I had a picture that looked like this to begin with. That was the original image. And then I did the threshold adjustment. That made it look like this. And then I did the gradient map adjustment. And that made it look like that. And I like it, right? So I would be able to come along here and do like a save as and save that as my third one. And then I would just have to go turn all of those in, all right? So that's your assignment, right? I did that one and that one and that one. And you have to do 3. So that is it. Good luck.